Good morning. Oh, my hair is starting to grow massively. It's gone a bit crazy. But yeah, so we're doing this set of videos, and so I've got my little big book, meeting in a, where's my camera? There it is. Meeting in a pocket. So I've got this little one, and we're going to just show you what's in this little tiny booklet again, which can just slip into your purse, really. So we're going to start off with the prayer. So God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, this prayer is not just an AA thing, it is across the board. All of us need that, because worry, overthinking about things which we can't change, just wastes our time. It just wastes our energy for the day. So I don't know, I'm not long woken up, so it's trying to think of a thing where you start worrying about something and it's nothing you can do about. So why waste all of that day worrying about that particular thing when you could be portraying positive attitude towards something else? So yeah, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. It's not always easy to accept, of course it's not, but yeah, the courage to change the things I can. So again, another thing that's not easy, lots of lessons to be learned, but to have the wisdom to know the difference, the ones where we can change, the ones where we can't, and to where we're going to work on it. So I know I read this yesterday, but this is the shorter version because this is meeting in a pocket. So I'm just going to quickly read this. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. These are such unfortunates. I don't like that expression. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have, we are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and that result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember, we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. So that's the short version of the reading, and as much as which was the passage I didn't like? No, where did I say I didn't like that expression? There are certain expressions, and this is why I'm trying to get, I can't, what did I say that I said I was going to say? Incapable of grasping, no. Chances are less than average, no, that's fine, because that's true. Basically, until you as a person, so you can't save someone else. You can't save someone else when they're going through their addiction, drugs or alcohol, sex, gambling, shopping, whatever. You can't save them. They have to have that little light in their heart to say, this isn't right for me anymore. I need to change. So that has to happen inside of a person. You can't save someone else. So where they say you're going to have to be absolutely honest, yes, it is, because you have to be honest with yourself that you have a problem, an addiction, uses disorder. Only you can fix that yourself. But saying that, then you need all the support that is around. So it's you've got to put that, like a boiler, and the ignition light comes on, and then all the central heating comes on. That's what we are as people who have disorders. That ignition light needs to come on. Bing. Right, now the central heating's come on. So now all the water's coming around the system. So that hot water coming from that radiator a minute ago is now going to come and heat my radiator. And you're going to shower me with affection and knowledge. And then what I will then do is when I pass it on to the next radiator, I will then put all that way. So the sharing, and it is definitely needs to be a group progress thing. You can't do it on your own. You can't. Been a loner a lot of my life and try and do things by oneself. It don't work. You can't do it on your own. You can't. You need that group support. And what I found over the last couple of weeks, now I have given myself completely, is the groups that I've been going to, I've opened up, and do you know what? It's actually relief to actually be able to talk about certain things that you wouldn't talk to with your best friend, you wouldn't talk to with your father, you wouldn't talk to with your cousin, in a group environment like that where everyone is the same. It's a safe space, and this is why the groups are so important, whether it be AA, SMART, HAMS, whatever group that you're in. It needs to be, and you need to attend and you need to go, because that's where your safe space is going to be, so that you can open up and you can actually share how you feel. You can share how you feel, but also what other people feel. So it might, you might feel XYZ about a certain issue, but the person next to you will go, why do you feel like that for? Because I feel like this, ABC about this. I do this and I do that. And then the comparisons. So they're not judging you. They're not making you feel worthless, which is how you feel when you've got a usage disorder. You feel worthless. You feel like a pile of poop. You don't even feel like you're worth even sticking on somebody's shoe, because that's how low you feel. But when someone else then suddenly goes and recognizes how you feel, not necessarily agree with it, but recognizes how you feel, and you can discuss it. Whereas in normal life, when you're at work or with your friends and everyone's doing their general day-to-day thing, you don't want to worry anyone, you don't want to bore them, you don't want to load them, you don't want to impose on them, you don't want to, so you end up isolating, and that's where it ends up not working right. Oh, so my little book, What an Order. Right, so I'm going to read What an Order, and then I'm going to leave this video here for today, because tomorrow I'm going to talk about hams, on the internet called hamsters. It's harm reduction, so weighing up the pros and cons of everything. And what I love about hams is it's not just about alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling. It's a lot of skills all of us can use in life, day to day, on a general basis. Pros and cons, weighing things up, looking at things as an objective rather than just being swallowed up. So We're going to read What an Order, just because I've started with AA. We're going to do What an Order, my little pocket meeting. I love this because it's just so small and it just fits in it. So, oh no, I might read the promises as well, actually. While I've got this little book out, let's just finish this little book. Right, so we're going to do What an Order. So, many of us exclaimed, what an order, I can't go through with it, because we're all scared and we're all bogged down, we're at rock bottom. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like the perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is, we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, I hate that word, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal ventures before and after we make clear are three pertinent ideas. That we were alcoholics and we could not manage our own lives. We've lost control. That probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. There is now. God could and would if he was sought. So if you do have a religion and you do believe in God, that's going to help you massively because it gives you direction. If it doesn't, the God that we're looking at is science and progress. So yeah, so that's quite stiff. God could and would if he was sought. This obviously now you can see why this puts people off of the AA program, but what I take away with that is I don't use the word God. I don't have a dude, as I said before, in the clouds looking down going, you. But as an entity, and if I think God's within ourselves, it's ourselves. So you need to look within yourself. Your God is inside. It's in here. So when you reach this point and it's saying we can't manage our own lives, no, because alcohol took away that power. Yes, it did. But we're going to take it back now. We're going to take it back. We're going to take that control. No human power could have relieved our alcoholism. I don't agree with that because we have now drugs and groups and stuff which helps a lot of people recover. But when Bill wrote this book, and he did a hell of a good thing back in the day, 100 years ago, directing people to God and something to focus towards. So he didn't do wrong, he didn't lie, he didn't do anything wrong. He just focused people to go to God, which back in those days, don't forget, religion was still a big thing. And to focus and have that empowerment, have that subject to clasp onto to bring yourself back. But it's in here. God would if you were so it's in here. So you need to seek inside yourself. The 12 traditions of AA are in there. ABC of meeting topics. Right, let's talk about the promises, actually, while we are still on this subject matter. Because the promises is one of the things when I first went into AA was what I was aiming for. 1 minute. Promises, big book, page 83, 84. I'm going to read it first. We'll read it and then we'll discuss it. So, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. I like that. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. The feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. Not in this day and age, it won't, sorry. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realise that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are those extravagant promises? We think not. We are being fulfilled among us. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialise if we work for them. So, yes and no. Again, please drop in the comments any opinions you have on this. Going back through it, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we are halfway through. Yes, because that's when we take the shutters off of being in our addiction, in our usage. So the shutters have come off. We are now then, it's like when a horse is racing, it got the blinkers on. And we are like that in our addiction, in our usage. So the blinkers are on and we just focus on what we need, what we require. And then once you take those away, the whole world opens out for you. And it's not always a good thing because it can be scary. We've blocked that out for so long. And when that all comes pounding back in, it can be a very scary experience. So it's not always a good thing, especially if you're trying to do this on your own. We're going to know new freedom and a new happiness. Yes, we are. But as I just said, that's something again where you need group therapy and groups to actually work on that progress. We will not regret our past nor wish to shut the door on it. That is a big thing for me. And in group the other day, it reminded me of an expression I had, I think it was in an AA meeting actually, where you're driving a car and you're moving forward. Your windscreen is the whole front. So that is your future. That is your future. You've got a complete landscape view of your future. Your rear view mirror, which is this big, you can glimpse every now and again, look in the mirror and see the past. That's where the past should stay, in this rear view mirror, because it's got you to where you are. We can look at it, but we don't need to focus on it. What we need to focus on now is the front screen, the big screen, the big landscape. So yes, that is something, you know, we can't ignore the past. The past has brought us to where we are. It's made us who we are, and we wouldn't be us. And as much as I hate my addiction, I don't hate the person that I am today. I am who I am because of where I am and what's brought me here. And I'm not a bad person today. So why should I hate my past, as horrible as it's been, when it's made me who I am today? So don't hate on your past. We all need to work together. So keep it in the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror is only this big, isn't it? I think on in most countries, on most cars, the rear view mirror is only this big. The front screen, you're moving forward, you're going into the future. The front screen's got the landscape view. You head off on there, darling. You head off on there. So no matter how far Down the scale we've gone, experience can help others. Yes, so we come with experience because we've been there, we've done it. And sharing it and helping others is a big thing. The feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. It hasn't for me yet. I still feel a bit useless, but this is why I'm doing these videos, because I'm going to try and help others and share my experience and my knowledge. Will you lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows? Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Yes, it does change actually. Once, how can I put it? Once you get your head above water, so you're swimming, drowning in this horribleness, this mess. You know, there's snakes, there's eels, there's everything down there is pulling you down. It's drowning you, it's killing you, it's making you hate yourself and being discouraged by everything outside of your bubble. So you think all your friends hate you, you think all your family hate you, you think everything is negative. When you get your head above that water once, just get your head above that water, take that gasp, take that breath. And even if you go down again, take that breath with you, because that is going to save your life. That one breath of somebody, hey, are you okay today? That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Somebody to offer a hand. It's a shit place to be. Don't know if this will be allowed on YouTube, but it's a place to be. And when you're breaking inside, when your heart is just breaking, and you feel you've let everybody down, and when you've cried for help and say, please do not give up on me, because you don't want people just to abandon you. You want to get better. You want to make things better. You want to get there. You want to do the right thing. When that person says, I won't give up on you, that to me made my day. I had a message a little while ago. I won't say who it was, but I messaged them and said, please don't give up on me. And they messaged me back and went, of course I won't. I can't say the rest of the message because it'll give away who they are and what was said, but they said they wouldn't give up on me. And that spurred me on, because that gave me hope. And when you're at rock bottom and you're in this pit of shit, it's really hard even to reach out, because by the time you get there, usually you've cut off all ties with everyone, family, friends, everyone. And by the time you reach that pit, it's a very lonely place. And then when you reach that lonely place, you try and then console yourself. So you carry on doing what you're doing because you're consoling yourself. It's horrible. And anyone that wants to say that anyone can just get out of it, it's you can't. You just can't. You can't. It's such a horrible place to be, and it's difficult. It's like being in a coffin where everything's oppressive, everything's on you, everything's there, and you can't just bash your way out. You just can't, because it's so hard. It's so
all of these avenues that I'm talking about on my series, all of them, yeah, AA doesn't fit everyone, and this is why I want to talk, because I've done it and I love it. You know, I've got some good friends. I'm not ever going to diss it. But the God thing is a big thing, and I know that because religion isn't a big thing anymore. But what I want to do is talk to people, because AA still think, because you still got camaraderie, comradeship, whatever you want to call it, where you still go and talk to people and you still have people that understand how you feel. So when you walk into an AA meeting, you might not love God, you might not have God, you might not understand God, but there is 20 people in that meeting who know exactly how you feel. Today, like now I'm crying, but I walk into that meeting tomorrow and there is 20 people there that know exactly how I feel, and they don't judge, they don't terrorize you, they don't say get a grip, blah blah blah, all the stuff that people who are trying to help, who don't mean harm, they don't mean harm, but get a grip, get yourself together, sort it out, do this, do that. No, these people in that room, it's a safety net, and you can suddenly go, oh God, I am at rock bottom, but there's my lifeline. Come on, yeah. And then you've got 6 other people going, yeah, I was where you are, I've done this, I've done that. So I've completely gone off track on my little booklet, haven't I? So this is why the meetings are important. What was I going to say on my last topic? Oh, in this economic, we'll leave, yeah, blah blah blah, yeah, that's all changed today, because the economics of today is completely mental. Anyway, are these extravagant promises? We think not. No, it's not, because you stick together and you work as a group. So as much as it might sound impossible because it's got God, but it's not impossible because it's a group, and group therapy is, I can't say enough. Right, a version for you. Go on, let's read it. We might as well finish this little pocket book. Our book is meant to be suggestion only. There you go. What I've said. We realise we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask Him for your morning meditation, what you can do each day. The man who was still sick. The answers will come if you own if your own house is in order. But obviously you cannot transmit something you haven't yet got. Yeah, I don't know. Right. Questions you can answer. And then contacts. So in this book, right, so in this book, so it's got the prayer, the reading, that, and then obviously then you're supposed to put your sponsors or your contacts numbers in here to build your group. So to build your circle of friends, to build your connection, to build your lifeline, basically. So